Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be gathering all sorts of different ingredients into our cauldron. We're going to be making decoctions and using those to create elixirs. We're going to be putting those on our shelf in specific orders to get the most points possible. Today we're taking a look at Valley of the Alchemists. This is from Creative Maker and it's on Kickstarter right now. So I'm going to give you an overview of how the game plays and I'll see you on the other side. Now this is a Kickstarter preview, so all the artwork and components you see here are prototypes. You'll want to check the Kickstarter page for the latest of those. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to be able to select a color and a player board. And each of the player boards is going to be a different color. They'll have a different magical creature and they'll look different. So just to show you some of the different types, so we have the blue one with this cool little raven looking character. We have the green with the owl, and we have the red with the dragon. So everyone's going to take a player board of their color. And to the right of their player board, they'll have an elixir chest, which you'll be placing elixirs after you make them and having those score. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, once a player has selected a player board color, they're also going to get an ingredients board. Now, this is going to look very different in the final version. I'll put a picture up here. It shows you that these discs are actually now plastic bottles, and the ingredient board just looks very different with those ingredients. So this is definitely just the prototype here. But you're going to have 6 ingredients of each of the kinds: red, blue, yellow, and transparent. Transparent's water. And you're going to have 6 of the 6 different decoction colors. You're going to have 3 of each of those. And then here is your player board, and your board will start off on certain tracks depending on how you want it to start up. This will be a little bit different for every player. You get to decide with some basic rules so that everyone has a little bit different setup. Now on your turn, you can do 2 actions. These actions could be the same or different. The first possible thing is collecting ingredients. Now, if I want to collect ingredients, I can collect any 2 different ingredients that are here. So if I wanted to get red, I would take 2 of those because this is on the second column here. So I'd take 2 red ingredients from here and place them right there because those are ingredients. And let's say I wanted to get some transparent water, I would place them there as well. That would be the end of my turn. But let's say it was a little bit further in a future turn. I have all these ingredients here. One of the actions you could do is brew decoction. Now what this allows me to do is turn in these ingredients back to my ingredients board to get one of these decoctions. Again, these will be plastic bottles in the real version. And you can do as many as you want for one action. Now, brewing decoctions shows this little legend here. If I want to get a red decoction, I need to turn in 2 reds. You always need to turn in a transparent water when you're brewing any decoction. So to get a red, I would have to give away 2 reds and a water, and that would allow me to get a red one. So I can put the 2 reds back and a water, and I would get to add this, and you put it over here with the other bottles, and I can put the red, blue, and water to get a purple one. So you can do as many as you can with the ingredients you have to get as many decoctions as you want. Now that was just one brewing decoction action, and by the way, you're limited to the amount of ingredients you can place here. There's only 6 of each type that you could have on your board and 3 decoctions of each color that you could have here at the same time. Another action you could possibly take is making elixirs. Now the cost to make any of these elixirs are in the bottom right hand corner. Now I actually had just made 2 decoctions of one of purple, one of red. I could put these back on my ingredients board and I could get this one because that was the cost of it. Now I get to pick where this goes. I have to place it face up and I have to place it in one of the open spots that are there. You also get to increase your track 1 for each of these. So for example, I would increase red by 1 and I would increase the water by 1. Which of course allows me to get ingredients faster for those types. And at the end of the game, I'll be able to get those points for that elixir. Now just like the other actions, if you have more decoctions, you can create more than 1 elixir, as many as you have the decoctions for, in one action. Once your turn's over, you would then refill any empty spots with new elixirs. And by the way, you can only create face-up elixirs. You cannot make any of the ones that are face down. Another possible action you can take is rearranging the elixirs in your chest. You can either take any elixir and move it to any open spot, or you can swap any 2 elixirs. So let's say I want to swap these 2 like this. Well, why would you do that? Because another action is selling a line of elixirs. Now when you sell a line, you must sell 3, and it could be in any line, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. In this case, I only have 1 choice because I only have 3 in one direction, but you could sell as many as you'd like. Now when you sell a line, we look to see what kind of bonuses you might get. Now these are going to end up being points at the end of the game, but you look for points you can get now from bonuses. First of all, we look for the bottles. If you have the same bottle type, you'll get a bonus of 5 points. If you have the same color in all of them, in this case purple, 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 you'll get 4 points. If we had multiple colors that were all the same, we would get additional bonus points. And then we would look to see if they're all at the same level. This is a level 2, a level 2, a level 1. It's not, so we don't get bonuses for that. So we actually got a bonus of 9. These are going to be coins like this. There's going to be an upgraded version that will give you metal coins. You would place these in front of you. Then you would take all of the ones that you just sold and place them face down because those are going to be points at the end of the game. There's also special markers that you have start the game with. Everyone starts with the same 4. You can use them. They don't count as an action. You'll be placing those on elixirs in your chest and changing their properties. For example, I could put this one here and change its bottle type, so when I sold these, I'd have this same bottle type. And once you use those, you discard them back to the box. I could use this one here and say this one was blue, so when I'm selling, I could get the same color bonus. I could place this one here and change the level to 1, which means I would get the level bonus because all of them would now be at 1. You could also transform the decoctions. You could transform any number of one type to any color of another type. This is the only time you can have more than 3 decoctions of a color on a board. So this is telling me that I actually have 2 oranges here. Once you've done that, you can then take that token and discard it back to the box. This will continue, each player taking 2 actions of their choice until the elixir deck is empty. That deck has a different amount depending on the amount of players. Then you would add up all the points on your face that were face down that you had completed earlier. You'd flip them up, you'd add up all those points. You'd add up all your experience points. Any elixir on your chest, you'd actually get the points for those. And each pair of unused decoctions on your board is worth a point. Whoever has the most points is the winner. And if it's tied, the player with the most elixirs wins. And if it's still a tie, it's the number of decoctions, then ingredients that the tied players have. And if you're still tied, then you share the victory. Now, as you can tell from the overview, the game is very streamlined. There's only a few things you can do on your turn, but it gives you great decisions. You're trying to gather ingredients to make decoctions, to get the elixirs you want, to put them in the right spots, and you're trying to have these huge turns. Obviously, since you can do a lot of things in one action, you're trying to save up a lot, but so is everyone else. But people are going to have to try to figure out when's the right time to play that action to get the elixir that you really want. Because if you wait too long to be building up and building up, people are going to swoop in and get the ones you really want. So you're trying to battle timing versus having big turns, and it makes for interesting choices. Now, below me in the description of this video is the Kickstarter link. I invite you to go check that out because, as I mentioned in the overview, many things are different with the real production model than what I showed you in the overview. Plus, there is a exclusive version with metal experience point counters, so an exclusive version there. Plus, you can see all the new artwork, the box, and things like that. So, without further ado, check out that link below. I'm sure the people at Creative Maker would love your support.